Hello, hello! It's your boy DSD, and we're here with another edition of our YouTube on a Tuesday, and you know what that means. Creative Tuesday is ahead of us. So this day is where I make a Photoshop edit, and I basically break it down and show you how I did it. And this is the edit. Had a lot of fun with this one, definitely a lot of creative stuff, a little outlandish if I might add, but I had a lot of fun with it, so I'm excited to break it down. So as always, make sure you subscribe down below because it would mean a lot, guys. Make sure you like and let me know who you guys want me to do next because it's all about what you guys want, and I'm here to appease you guys. So let's get started. Alright, so this is what I started with. And we have Deshaun Watson. He's been awesome lately, and I had to do something good for him. So I wanted to give him the vibe that he's, doing this, I guess maybe like a power magic vibe from his hands, and just really just give you that outdoorsy aspect with the birds, the depth with the trees, and he's running away from them with the football to get to victory. So we're gonna break it down right now. Okay. This is actually a really crazy one, so I'm excited to go over this with you guys. So, as always, you want to start with the background. We've went over this a million times. So, I always start with black. And it just kind of gives me a better place to start working. So, first, I wanted to get this vibe of a forest background. So, I just got a really cool stock image from the internet. I don't really even know where I got it from, but shout out to them. This is a pretty cool image. Then I added some levels to it. And this line right here is basically where the rocks are going to be, so it's not a huge deal if it's there right now. I added some more coloring, added some orange, and more highlights. So what I always do is figure out where the lighting is coming in, and I wanted to come up on the top right, so I added this. Just like a subtle light. And then eventually I build onto that. I know what color I want it to be, so that's why I made this orange like that. Okay, so then I added some fog in front of it because I wanted to give that perception of depth, more fog equals depth. Then I added a rock area right in front, right? And I was like, okay, first of all, I was gonna make it look like someone was running up here, but I kind of went to a different direction. So I added some coloring, and then I color corrected it a little bit, and then added some shadows. That's where the rock is going to be over it, so it gives that more depth perception. Then I added some more fog on top to kind of give more of a cinematic vibe, I guess. Then I added more fog because this is where the rock is going to be. And then I added the first rock, which was right in front. That gave me the depth perception. So then it's like it's here, and then you can see farther, and that's why it gives that look of depth because they keep adding things on top of each other. So first I added a rim light just to kind of give it because there's gonna be a lot of sun coming that way. Then I added some darkness because I just wanted it to feel like the light was coming this way and really just on top of it, and then you'll see what I mean afterwards. I had some orange over here, had some more orange right here, more orange, just in different spots. Then I color corrected it a little bit and added some blue because I knew that's where the spotlight was going to be. Then I added some brightness. I added this actually afterwards, after I made the highlight beam, but just work with me right here. Generally, what I do is I make a bright spot, and then I put the highlights around it to make it look more real. Okay, and then I added some more rocks just to kind of give more of a perception. I added some shadows under it to kind of give that perception it's actually there. Added some darkness. Added some orange, some highlights, and then I color corrected it a little bit to have more blue. Then I added a rock right in front, oh, sorry, wrong one. Then I added a rock right in front of Deshaun's foot because he actually didn't have a foot. I wanted to like just make it to kind of hide it. So then I added some coloring to make it look like it was there, color corrections, darkness, lightness, you know, the whole deal to kind of give that cinematic feel that it's actually there. So now we're basically done with the background. Oh yeah, so this is where Deshaun is standing, and I did that after he was there as well. So now then I put them together, and then this is what I got. I added everything, then I added a little bit of a blur gallery to make it like, you know, this is the perception where you want to be looking at right here, and the background is really blurry, and then the front's really blurry, and it kind of gives more of a good vibe, I guess. Okay, so this is Deshaun Watson, what I did. So you can see how I got that idea of how I wanted to add that, you know, light beam coming from his hands. So generally what I do is I always do a motion blur to make it look like he's running somewhere. So what I did is I added some motion blur on his, actually let's take a step back and I'll go over that in a second. So, I'm actually going to add the lighting what I had in the sky so you guys can see like what I was working with, so you know where I was coming from. Originally I thought it was going to be red, and I changed my mind, so we can remove that. Okay, so this is the climate that I was working with, so it's a lot easier to see why I was putting orange everywhere, and it makes a lot more sense now. Then, so what I did was I always add a rim light on the outside of him because that's where the sun's coming in. Then I added some orange because the sun's coming down, and it kind of, you know, just makes sense. Then I added some, I think I just did a little bit of a color balance, nothing really crazy, just to make it look like it was color corrected a little bit better. And then I added some darkness on the outside to make it look like the sun was coming this way. Then I added some more darkness, more lightness, so it really amplifies what we're doing here. I had some darkness on the feet just to kind of give it more perception that he's actually like standing there. Then I added some blue because I knew that the blue stream was coming from his hand, so it really made a lot of sense like once you do it. So basically what I always do is I make the adjustment first, like whatever the effect is, then I add coloring afterwards. Maybe next week I'll actually do it with you guys and kind of walk you through it. But it's really hard because I'm always making mistakes and kind of adjusting things. So just let me know in the comments what you guys want me to do next, because it's going to be helpful, like what you want to learn or what type of, you know, ideas that you're interested in. And I really think that, you know, that would be helpful for me going forward. So then what I did was I wanted to give this perception that he was moving. So I added a adjustment, like a motion blur going this way because he's moving one way. That is, I added some blur on his left arm, right arm, really just to kind of give that whole perception that he's moving. And it's very subtle, but it's something that what Photoshop is. You want to build the effect. So if you don't do little pieces here and there, it's never going to make a full effect that you want. And you'll see exactly what I mean with the light source. I did like maybe 20 layers to make that happen. And little effects kind of add the big picture, and that's how I do things. So I'm not sure what this is. Nothing. Okay, so the light is already there, and then now we can start adding the Deshaun. I called it Deshaun light beam. Okay, so what I did first was I grabbed two, just like over here. I grabbed a triangle and went like this. Like this, and then picked out a color that I wanted. I went to color balance, the color on the bottom left, and just picked out a blue. So let's just, for example, say I did this, and then I colored it in there. Okay, then you press Control D to get rid of that, and then what I did was I made another one like this, something rough, not exact, but rough. And did this like the similar color. Actually, I did the same color. And then you went back to the brush tool. You added that blue. Then what you do is you put the opacity down a lot, so you're able to kind of see two different layers. Then what I did was I blurred the outsides of it to kind of give it the effect of, like, you know, just like magic. So this was the first one. It had there, and then I also added like a little bit of a warp tool at the end to make it look like it's coming out. Then I added another beam down the middle. That's what gave it the power look. Then I added some shading on the outside of it to kind of give this little bit of a darker effect. A little bit more shading to kind of make it more uniform. Then I added some white. What I used is just like I have like a brush tool. A fog tool that I use, a brush rather. And I just added some white, and that kind of actually added the effect. So I added more white, more white, more white. Then you can see how it's starting to build now. So then I added some what I call debris. Debris are just like, just like little things that are going to be in there to kind of add more to the effect. I have a bunch of brushes that I get from Envato Elements, and they're pretty awesome, so go check them out. I don't even have a hookup from them yet, so maybe someday I will. But yeah, they're awesome, and they have a lot of good stock stuff, and it's really helpful. So I add some debris, very little. You can't really see it, but it's very subtle, which starts building the effect, like I said. You add a little bit more, which is up here, a little bit more, which is right here, and then even more. And it's very little, very, very little, but it really starts building what I want to do here. So then I add some rain in it because it really gave that like showering effect towards him. And then I added a little bit of a white ball because I kind of wanted to give that magic effect. So I think that we're done with the Deshaun Watson beam, just like the components. Oh, I added more of a white ball. And then I also added some more coloring to add more of effect. So I added some brightness, and then more of a color fill, and it gave that like really bright looking light. Okay, so then I wanted to make it look like that he was being attacked by some other guys. So I'm actually just going to shut off these two layers so you can see exactly what I was trying to get at. So first I did Josh Allen, who's in his division. I just added him, and he's right here. And on this one, I added a motion blur. So this is what it looked like originally. And then I added a motion blur to make it look like he was running at him. Then added some color corrections just to make it look more legit. And it didn't really need to be very crazy because you really didn't see him very much. Then I did Darius Leonard, which was just like right there. Did the same exact thing. Didn't really need to worry about it very much because, like I said, like the coloring goes away. Like it covers most of it, so you don't really need to have like fine details. So then I wanted to get a perception of a guy running up this area over here. So I got Bird from the Chargers. I'm sorry, the Titans. And then I just did the same thing. I added some color correction, some motion blur, and just made it all work together and just kind of combined with what the perception I'm trying to get it. And then I also added some orange because there's orange coming down from there. Then you can see what it looks like with the beams. It's actually pretty epic. Actually looks pretty cool, but I just didn't think it looked super legit yet. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna add some more, like, I guess, dusty particles. So I added this one, and then I added this one, which was on the bottom, and it gave this real, like, cool effect that it kind of looked like a lot of dirt was being kicked up. Then I added some more, I think, just more coloring up here. And then this is what kind of really made it just kind of put together. So I wanted it to look a certain way, just like smoke, but honestly, it kind of looked like frost, like it was frozen. So I just kind of went with that. So I had some like smoke over here, and it kind of looks like they're freezing. And then same thing, I just added a little bit more, and then I added a little bit more. It very, very little at the end, but just more to color correction. And then it kind of really comes together. And you can't really see them very well, but it just gives you the perception that he's freezing them and running away. That's kind of what I wanted. So this is the final edit that I did. It probably took me about like 6 hours total, maybe 5 hours total. Like I didn't do it all in one day. That's kind of the problem why it takes so long to show you guys these things. It takes a long time to make. But so then I combined them together by doing Shift Control Alt E. And then I put it through camera raw filter, and this is what I got at the end. Pretty epic, not gonna lie. I really enjoyed doing this one. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So as always, make sure you subscribe down below. It means a lot. Like we already went over all this, but please let me know down below who you guys want me to do next. Like I don't really care who I do. It's all about you guys. So let me know who is the most popular guy. Maybe we'll do like a voting system. And then at the end of the day, it's just whatever you guys like. So I'll do whatever you want. That's it, guys. So as always, make sure you subscribe down below, and it'll mean a lot. And that's really it, guys. So enjoy the rest of your day.